welcome to the channel. Here, I share scareful stories. Stories to make you scared, make you think, make you wonder, and maybe, just maybe, make you a little more careful. If you could take a moment after the video to like, comment, and subscribe, we might be able to break the 600 subscriber mark. Today's scareful story comes to us from Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, but has a connection to the so-called Emerald Isle, the country of Ireland. Cian McLaughlin was a 27-year-old who held dual Irish and American citizenship. After growing up in Dublin, his love of all things outdoors, and especially of the mountains, brought him to Jackson, Wyoming, where he worked as a snowboard instructor in the winters and found jobs in local bars during the summers. His best friend from childhood said that Cian always wanted to move to America, and that in Jackson, he was in his element. He was super fit and really outdoorsy, and he knew the trails in Grand Teton quite well. On Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, he decided to go for a hike but never returned home. Cameras show his car entering Grand Teton National Park at the Moose Entrance Station at 2:15 p.m. that day. His vehicle was later found at the Lupine Meadows trailhead. Soon after arriving, he ran into a friend around 2:30 p.m. At that time, he was only about half a mile from the trailhead. His friend said that he was wearing a t-shirt and shorts and that he wasn't carrying a backpack. From that, it was presumed that he was just out for a day hike with no plans to camp. It also spelled trouble, as he clearly had no supplies for an extended period in the outdoors or for nighttime temperatures. Although typically getting into the 70s during the day, temperatures fall at night and can go below 40 degrees. Other hikers reported seeing someone with Cian's description hiking on the trails leading to Garnet Canyon, Surprise and Amphitheater Lakes, and Delta Lake. That information matches up with information later found from computer forensics showing Cian had made searches about hiking around Delta Lake prior to his hike that day. The last ping from his cell phone was at 3:30 p.m. on June 8th. Cian's friend traveled to the park to help with the searches. He reported that searches were centralized in the area of Delta Lake and the upper part of Teton, and added that it's an unofficial trail that goes up to Delta Lake and it's quite rough terrain. There's a lot going on with boulders and the area is difficult to navigate. In total, search efforts included 40 to 70 park staff on any given day, 5 search and rescue dog teams, members of the Teton County Search and Rescue, the Teton Interagency Helicopter, and the Civil Air Patrol, which used forward-looking infrared, which detects infrared radiation. Cian's mom arrived in Wyoming on June 17th with the hope that her son would still be found alive. She describes him as very outgoing, friendly, and a sociable kind of guy. 2 days later, officials told her that the search was changing to a recovery effort. She suspects that her son ventured off trail during his day hike. She stated that he was well versed in the mountains. He grew up hiking with me and my mom and dad and my brother. We are assured it was a day hike and that he possibly went off trail. She went on to say how tricky hiking can be at that time of year, since even though it's June, it's still spring in Wyoming with lots of snowmelt. By June 21st, authorities decided to scale back the search. In limited mode, new clues would be investigated and rangers would continue to patrol the backcountry, but the larger search effort would cease. Just as officials were set to wind down the search effort, a new tip came in. 40-year-old Heather Mycoskie told officials that she had just returned from an international trip and had been unaware of Cian's disappearance. She reported chatting with Cian on Tuesday, June 8th in the late afternoon or early evening. They were on the south side of Bradley Taggart Moraine. Cian told her that he was from Ireland, that he lived in Jackson, and spoke about his job. These details made her sighting seem credible, although it did change the timeline of his disappearance and also the location of where he may have gone missing. Heather said Cian was headed south toward Taggart Lake, which was at a much lower elevation than where the searches had been focused. After briefly chatting, she said Cian went on his way and she went on hers, and the two did not cross paths again. This tip sparked a renewed search effort, this time around Bradley and Taggart Lakes, but nothing was found. As days turned into months, all searching was called off due to weather. Some people thought Cian was the victim of a bear attack, as there are both black bears and grizzly bears in the park. Although very sensational, bear attacks are relatively rare, and instead, most often, hikers are injured or killed due to slips and falls. With snow remaining at higher elevations in the Tetons well into spring, that presents a huge risk for falls. As the winter passed, investigators discovered that Heather Mycoskie had lied about her sighting of Cian. That's right, she made the entire thing up. She claimed that she wanted the search to continue, but that really begs the question of how she felt continuing the search in the wrong place would help. Some people have suggested that her true motivation may have been to gain some amount of Instagram fame by providing the tip. All in all, her false tip led to 532 hours of wasted search time and cost American taxpayers $17,500. In a deal that gives her deferred prosecution, she has been banned from Grand Teton National Park for 5 years and has been ordered to pay back the money spent on the extra search effort. I don't know about you, but I think she should be permanently banned from all national parks forever. It's been just over a year since Cian went missing, and as the summer hiking season picks up, it's hoped that clues to his disappearance, if not Cian himself, will be found. At the time he went missing, he was wearing a red Apple Watch, gold wire-rimmed sunglasses, a silver U-shaped pendant, and was carrying a red iPhone 12. He was dressed in a white short-sleeved t-shirt, shorts, and a bucket hat. Cian's mom is back in Wyoming right now helping to search for her son. About the false sighting report, she said, "Yes, it is very upsetting, but we very quickly put that behind us to just refocus on the higher mountain areas. And now that we are back in Wyoming, as the snow begins to melt and the rangers can study the map and terrain and identify other search areas, and so we are hoping to refocus people's attention to the higher mountain areas. Hopefully this summer will be the time Cian is found and brought back to his family. He clearly is loved and missed by his family and friends." His best friend said that anyone who knows Cian loves Cian. He has a unique and genuine energy about him and is somewhat of a local legend. It's hard to comprehend what has happened. What do you think happened? Like most missing hiker stories, I think Cian most likely experienced a fatal fall and that his body is in a place that makes it hard to locate. One thing to note is that he had not shared his hiking plans or hiking route with anyone. I think sometimes it feels silly to do that when you're just going out for a day hike, but it's something that you should always do. That and carry a locator device. Those things could help save your life, or in the worst case scenario, help your family locate your body and not forever have to wonder where you are and what happened to you. So that's the scareful story of Cian McLaughlin. Until the next one, stay safe and stay careful.